5. It's Australia race number 8 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 1,000 metres, and this goes close to being one of the better races of the day. Very competitive.
Very good 72 class race this is. We'll go straight into the replay of last start winner, number 13, King River.
From Classy Cat Velmont, starting its run, Grey Enigma, getting an inside run as well as Max Almighty. Warwick went to work at the 200 though. Cool Passion quickly dropped off Secret Minx. Max Almighty though finishing fast along the rail. Then Classy Cat deeper out. King River runs on with Red Paddy. It's Cool Passion. Look at King River, Red Paddy. It's King River, Red Paddy. King River the outside, got the beacon.
I think we've been waiting this from King River, and I can tell you that the connection certainly had as well. When I was down there getting ready to interview, they all looked at each other and went, that's what we've known, and that's what we've been waiting to see. Exactly right. And from the trial, I think you and I had as the best bet of the day first up, and it was a little bit disappointing on that occasion. Even at this time, it took a little while to wind up, and look, it beat Red Paddy, which isn't the best form lines going around, but it was an honest performance. Big question mark for mine, though, dropping back to the 1,000. I know the blinkers are on, so they're clearly trying to sharpen it up, and there is speed in this race, but it's only just got there in the 12, and now we're dropped to 1,000. I would have loved to see it step up to the 1,400. The one thing I won't do is question Grant Williams or Bob Peters, and they know a lot more than we do, but it has just, for mine, taken away that X factor that I think this horse has.
You look at the breeding as well by Harada's son. They obviously get a trip. But as you mentioned, you can't second guess those geniuses. We've also got number 3, Bourne Supremacy. Now, another perfect race, was not suited last start at all. Sat outside the leader, no speed, and Showy Chloe was far too good on that day.
Bourne Supremacy is a chaser. Loves sitting that pair back, someone else do the bullock and work, and then it just moves out nicely and has that bit of flash down the outside. And for this race, they're going to get that. There is a bit of speed in this race, and you know, with the likes of a Greco who are probably pushing forward quite hard as well. So I think it was set up perfectly. Once I saw barrier 4, you just went, this is what Bourne Supremacy wants. 58.5 kilos. I know it goes up a little bit, but I think it'll be too good.
We've got another 4 horses that we could mention, but we'll just mention one more. Number 10, Cool Passion. Excellent last start winner. Everybody was a bit worried in the run when it was about 7 wide, but it did have cover on that occasion. They went mad, and Lucy just popped it out. It was far too good for them.
I know this is another horse that's really just sort of questioning Justin Warwick. He's not sure where to go with it, but I think she's probably still better over the 1,200. They had been concerned that she got beaten in the 2 runs over the 1,200. One was by King River, and I will say gets a 1.5 kilo swing on King River for that. But they were days that it didn't suit leaders, so I thought it was a really good performance. Now, dropping back to the 1,000 was well suited last start. It was the best bet of the card by a country mile with the amount of speed that was in there. There's not that same level of speed now, so I think she becomes a little bit more vulnerable, but I've still got her in the 4. But I can't go past number 3, Bourne Supremacy, from 10, Cool Passion, number 6, Malibu Style, and 2, DUETON.
Yeah, Bourne Supremacy, it's got weight for age form lines. On top for me from 10, Cool Passion, 13, King River, and 5, WHATAPLAN.
Race number 6 is Australia race number 10 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 2,100 metres. We know these staying races are always pretty close, and there's a horse I think that would have hurt us, hurt a lot of the Singapore punters, and do we give it another chance?
I think we probably do, but we'll go into the replay of number 1, The Flirt, who won well last start.
DISCOVILLE, the Forgotten One, is starting a swooping run around the outside at the 300 metre mark, and jetting to London, reached the lead from Long Overdue, the Forgotten One. It's starting to run on. The Flirt now is starting to get a wriggle on, and down the outside from the back is Paris Dream. The Forgotten One, Paris Dream, The Flirt, DISCOVILLE in the middle, Paris Dream, The Flirt on the inside, gains the upper hand though late. And
strong performance by the Flirt. We've mentioned that you just continue to back Justin and Lucy Warwick, and this is another good example. Was well supported on course that day into $3.30 and just got the job done in front of 2 pretty nice ones in Paris Dream and the Forgotten One as well. Drawn nicely in barrier 2. Question mark at the 59 kilos, but you can just see this horse just being nursed up as Lucy does so well, and then showing the turn of foot late and being too good for them.
Yeah, barrier 2, a really good gate for this horse. He must go on. But the thing about Justin Warwick, he just has his horses primed and fit. Weight isn't an issue for these horses. One thing I will say, I would have liked a bit of sting out of the ground for the Flirt in this race. As we know, the McFlirt progeny go really, really well in the soft. The horse you were talking about that loves to sting us punters, number 5, ROMELO, and it's opened up very short again at $3.
Yeah, 195 it jumped last start. We had as the best bet of the card, and how you could not after what we saw in the 1,600 metre race. But someone grabbed me just before the race and said, just take a look at Corelliback. And Corelliback did the same. Won over 1,600 metres first up, stepped straight up to 21, and was just found short a little bit. And I think that's what happened with ROMELO. Now, the blinkers go on here, which is a bonus. Gets a 2 kilo swing on My Magic Mist, which I think he can account for that galloper quite easily as well. But I don't know if I'll be diving in short again.
Here's one I'll pop up at you, Adam. Number 9, SIGIL now. Didn't have too much luck last start, still ran well. The start before that was okay, but her win 3 starts ago was very good. With a bit of speed on here, I think he can be right in the mix.
Yeah, he doesn't have luck though. That's the thing with SIGIL. You have a look at his 8 runs, and I think he's found trouble in 6 of them. The only 2 he hasn't, he's won. This horse just loves somehow darting into the trouble. He finds it and enjoys running up the back end of most horses when he could just have that clear side. Now, getting in with 53 kilos is a big bonus here. Barrier 10 has won over the 1400 metres twice, but this is a big step up to the 2100 metres. No doubt, I think he can get the trip, but I just need to see it first before I could be confident about backing him. I am going to tip number 5, ROMELO. I won't get my money, but I'll be happy to watch from number 10, SONNEN, number 1, The Flirt, and 11, TOPPA DAWOZZA.
Yeah, I'll be having an each-way play at SIGIL at around the $13, $14 mark. From 5, ROMELO, 4, My Magic Miss, and 11, TOPPA DAWOZZA.
Race number 7, it's Australia. Race number 12 for our Singapore viewers. It's a Group 3 Hyperion Stakes over the 1600 metres. I think we'd agree even before the barriers there was one horse to beat, but the barrier draw has just really tightened that screw for the favourite.
Yeah, it has indeed, Adam, but we'll go straight into the replay of the obvious form line, the Belmont Sprint winner, Wink and a Nod.
And further back is Fuchsia Bandana at the top of the straight where Resonates was tackled by Battle Hero. Wink and a Nod a length and a half away, closing the margin down quickly. 2 lengths to Lucky Grey. Battle Hero, Wink and a Nod, the mare have come together. They're having a great battle. 100 left to go. Battle Hero ridden desperately. Warwick shakes up Wink and a Nod. Wink and a Nod now draws a neck in front, and the mare will be too good.
Really strong performance there by Wink and a Nod. She's in a league of her own at the moment, as is the Justin and Lucy Warwick stable, as we've mentioned numerous times. 14 up to 16, I think, is a big bonus for her. Barrier 7, compared to some of her rivals like Lucky Grey and Battle Hero, she just ticks all of the boxes, and I think she'll just be winning this race.
Yeah, she won impressively last start in the Belmont Sprint, didn't she? We've also got Lucky Grey, which has opened up $8, the grey horse. Barrier 14 is a concern, but was flat last start, was very good first up. I think it can regain its form, and it's won a Group 1 over a mile.
I was a bit nervous not putting this horse in my numbers, and the only reason has come down to the barrier. I'm just concerned where this horse is going to get, but as you mentioned, has the historical stats behind him, and you don't take on champions too often. So although barrier 14 isn't ideal, it was one at the track and distance, a really good distance record, 5 attempts for 3 victories in a second. But like Battle Hero, I just think the gap now widens with Wink and a Nod to these two because of barrier 14 and barrier 15. I much prefer some of the other horses that ran on strongly last start and have drawn better.
Like Mr. Utopia, that was a cracking run last start, a really good return to racing over here at Belmont, and was only beaten 3.5 lengths by Wink and a Nod, but can certainly improve off that run.
Well, it was running on strongly. It has a good second up record as well, 6 starts for 2 victories and a third. And then you look at the distance, 4 attempts for 2 victories and a second as well. So I think this horse, compared to Battle Hero and Lucky Grey, is much more suited, should get a nicer run and then be able to be saved up for that attack down the straight. So I'm with you in that part. I'm going to tip number 14, Wink and a Nod, but I do have number 6, Mr. Utopia, in for second. From 13, Belmont Girl, and number 5, Battle Hero.
1, Lucky Grey on top for me, Adam. Number 6, the $15 shot, Mr. Utopia. 13, Belmont Girl, and 14, Wink and a Nod.
Race number 8, it's Australia. Race number 14 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 1400 metres. And although there's some better races in the card, this is probably the most intriguing one because every good horse that you probably want to have on top is drawn the car park.
Yeah, it's an interesting race. It's a big field and it does look to be speed, but it's hard to track where it's all going to come from. We'll have a look at the replay of last start winner though, number 9, SENSO.
Those and so's Roth the top. Homeward bound Headlander Boy. Given his head, led a length and a half. Senso's going pretty easily though. It's Senso now quickly ranging up, going to the front from Headlander Boy. Daisy Express, Source of Survival, Goma Whipple, then Roth the top, but Senso went to the 100 clear. Headlander Boy coming back. Senso shortening stride. Headlander Boy, Daisy Express, but Senso responds late.
There's a good win by Senso on this occasion, but I question the opposition. Beating Daisy Express when you're looking at horses like Proper Ranties, Military Ruler, I'm Feeling Lucky, Stocks, Showy Chloe, the list goes on in this race. And what I did when I went through the form lines, I'm a big fan of Senso and 3-year-old company. There's something about him, it's like he grows another leg and gets an air of confidence. But the last 2 runs in a 72 plus, he's been beaten 7 lengths in both, 11 of 11 and 7 of 10. Didn't have ideal runs in that, it must be said, but just seems to struggle against the older horses. Barrier 10, the 56.5 kilos, a bit of a knock for mine, but 2 from 2 at the track and distance.
And 4 and 4 from the track. I'm willing to have a play at around the $20 to $30 mark for sure. We've also got in the race number 3 there, Military Ruler. Looks the class in the field.
I haven't seen a bigger run from a horse in a long time than what Military Ruler did last start. Dwelt it at the start. William Pike was able to kick through a little bit on the rail, but had to do some work. And then the way that this horse started chasing down Proceed with Caution was a tremendous effort. Question marks again, barrier 13, and now the 59 kilos. Going back to the start of this prep in a 72 plus, was carrying 55 when beaten, then stepped up to a 78 plus 1, and then finished second again in the 72 plus last start. So carrying an extra 4 kilos in the same grade's a question mark, but he's just running so well.
Another 3-year-old, Scales of Justice. I really like this horse by not a single doubt. He's a lovely, lovely 3-year-old. Last start was really good. Paul Harvey rode it an absolute treat. And Randy Tan gets the ride. 51 kilos has to be considered, but I think it's opened up far too short at $3.
Yeah, look, I'm a big fan of Scales of Justice, and this gelding is going to play a big part in some of these 3-year-old races. The 51 kilos is a massive advantage, as is barrier 5. You go through the form lines with Vega Magic, Perfect Reflection, these types as well. I think this horse is going to be very hard to beat. Pretty impressive considering it was only been a length by Great Shot and then winning last start. They were both with 57 kilos as well. So the big bonus for this horse, drawing a gate compared to the good rivals being out wide and with the 51 kilos. If Randy Tan can get this around the course safely and then lead into at the top of the straight, I think the horse can win. I'm going to tip number 3, Military Ruler, though, from 16, Scales of Justice, number 4, New Time, and 12, Dezzie's Dream.
I'm tipping the 3-year-olds where there's a bit of value around. I've got number 9 on top, Senso, from 12, Dezzie's Dream, 16, Scales of Justice, and 17, BARAKI.
Time now to take a look at the best bets of the card, and I'm going to focus in on race 3, number 7, Ragnar Saga. Those stepping up in company, I think, can get the job done. And then in the big one, the Group 3 Hyperion Stakes, race 7, number 14, Wink and a Nod.
Yeah, race 3, number 7 for me as well, Adam, Ragnar Saga. And race 4, number 5, On Trend.
As we say every week, do follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And visit perthracing.com.au for all of your event information and anything else you need to find for the racing services. On behalf of both of us, hopefully we found you a couple of winners. We'll be back again next week with another edition of the Box Seat.